Hey, there I am. I lost myself. It's not the first time. How y'all doing? I had some technical difficulties here as we come in here. So funny, the things that happened before the show. And hold on here. I'm still getting this stuff together here. And there we go. Good evening. Sorry for that little technical difficulty. Something's going on with the old computer here. And I even have the wrong shirt on because it's blue and I have a blue screen. So it's really coming out. But I'm still here. I'm here and ready to go here. Welcome to the Life, Love, and Laughter Show. My name is Michael ALPOUGH, a.k.a. Comet, and I'm really happy to be here, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I hope it was good for you. You caught my first show because it has a lot to do with similar on what happened the early show. So you want to go back and check that out. It is, what it is. So what is going on here? My lighting is not doing what I want. Well, I look like I'm in space here. So anyway, we have to keep going. So we talked about illusions, the illusions of us being here. And we went through a number of the different illusions, the literal illusion, the physiological illusions, and the cognitive illusions. And this is what I wanted to hit on. What hit me when I was going through these things, and it made me want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit more. And that was with the cognitive. That's what really got me. And this has been a word that's been rattled around. Okay. Now, what got me with this word is it's another state of CPTSD. I think that they're kind of related. And so I have an article that I wanted to give acknowledgement to, and that is a gentleman by the name of David Denniston. David Denniston wrote this article. I think it's a pretty good article. It's not everything that I agree with, but it does really hit home on really what kind of is going on here with the cognitive dissonance. So let's start here, and I'm going to read you something from it. It says, have you ever been struggling inside your mind? Have you been dealing with conflicting thoughts? Like in your heart you should follow one particular path, but when you see some new info that pulls you in another direction, and you make a different choice that you didn't intend on making, you convince yourself that it was the right choice. Your reason, it's okay. It's what a reasonable doctor would do. Yet in your hearts, you question the decision. This, my friends, is the soul of cognitive dissonance. It can be really hard to detect, and all of us will do it from time to time. So cognitive dissonance is what I think is what's going on. Here's one description. Describes the distressing mental state people feel when they find themselves behaving in ways which don't fit with their self-image, or having opinions that don't fit with other opinions they hold. Also, cognitive dissonance is one of social psychology's most influential theories. It relates to the way we tend to correct ourselves when our actions go off track. Studies suggest it holds the answer to the important question: if I don't feel comfortable with what I am doing, should I change my belief or change my behavior? And So I really thought that this was a good leaping point from what I learned today and went and followed up, because this is what's going on in our society now. This is one of the reasons why I'm here, because we're being bombarded and we're forgetting about this love. The decisions of what making good decisions on should be based on love and understanding love, which, I mean, are they teaching that in school? I mean, love is spiritual, but you don't have to talk about an entity, just talk about how to learn to love someone. I mean, isn't that more important than teaching people how to be judge each other by our color? So really, we're being traumatized, everyone. Did you take the shot? Should I take it? I don't want to take it. I must take it. Should I take that blue pill? Should I take that red pill? Well, I've been a blue piller all my life, and all of a sudden now I'm thinking about that red pill. Well, I've been a red pill, and I'm think I should be on a blue pillar now, because isn't that what everybody's saying now? Isn't there more blue pills around than there are red pills? So we want to go through 7 common examples of cognitive dissonance. That's a filler for the word. Cognitive dissonance. All right, so the first one is feeling uncomfortable in your gut. Now, I've talked about how your brain and your gut are together. Okay, when you start getting scared in your mind, you start feeling it in your gut. When the bills come and you're thinking about paying them, and you don't have enough, it goes in your gut. When you get your heart broken, you get it in your gut. When you just miss out on an accident, it goes right down in the gut. So you're feeling uncomfortable in your gut. And this is when cognitive dissonance happens. And this is what we're in right now. You've got these infighting going on. Believe me, they're the same team. They're on the same team. Okay. Make no mistake about it. Same team. Okay. So let's go with the second one, is avoiding conflict. Boy, that's a good one. With all this crap going on and everything going on around us and everybody trying to do this and got to do that and this and that, man, it's almost impossible to avoid conflict without getting into some type of massive argument. And this has happened to me. So, it comes a time when you can't avoid the conflict. You have no choice. There's going to be some type of confliction or confrontation. It's inevitable. I'm sure some of you have had it, and then also, it seems that there's not let's bygones be bygones. Let's call it even. You agree how you agree. I agree how I agree. It doesn't seem that way. It's either you got to be this or else. This new woke culture. Woke? Well, what do you think? I've been asleep this whole time? I need to be woken? I've been on this earth for 63 years, almost 64 years. You think I've been sleeping this whole time? If you grew up in this country, you done seen its evolution. We still got issues, but we still have great things. If we didn't, why does everybody want to come here? For me, I'm just going to be straight with you. If you don't like it here, go. Go. Go start your own country. Go start your own country. Number 3, ignoring the facts. Do as I say, not as I do. Have you noticed that? The ones who are telling us what to do, they're saying do as they say and not as they do. And that's obvious. You can see it all around. All around. It's like an illusion. You know? So today I was showing, talking about all these illusions. And, a couple of things I forgot to share. What does this look like? Is this man looking at you, or is he looking another way? How many legs does this elephant have? See, things aren't what they seem. Is that a tree? A person? Things aren't what they seem. But if they told you what it was, then you would absolutely have a choice. It's a man or it's a tree. Number 4, taking yourself off the fence. This is where a lot of us have ended up, is taking ourselves off the fence. All right. Number 5, fear of missing out. That if you don't get along, you don't get to go along. And that's always a hard, feeling, to lose a whole group of people because you disagree about a certain title. Then what comes out of his number 6 is shame. This is what's going on. You got to be ashamed of yourself for what you did, what you didn't do 400 years ago. You're supposed to be. Well, because you benefited. Well, I benefited too. We all have benefited some way. Today is today. 7 is guilt. Feeling guilty for not going along. So, let's review here. All right. So number 1 here is a feeling squeamish, feeling guilty. Feeling guilty. It's understanding and knowing about seeing your life. Like, today, or was it yesterday? Okay, so I go to buy my mom a regular Snickers bar. All right. And it was just a small one. And it was 88 cents for that Snickers bar. And I realized, I look back and I'm like, I remember when I was a kid, it was a nickel. And yeah, that does make me older for sure. And then you put that in another example of buying a phone, having to replace your phone every year, every 2 years, spending, we used to pay $10 on a landline. Now it's $150 when you buy a phone a month for your phone. Your phone that used to be a car payment. So there's a guilt in of what, where's all my money going? And this is just one example, but that's part of understanding what inflation is, and we're living in it. See, so woke. I was awoke when a Snickers bar became a dime, when a Snickers bar was a quarter, when it's 50 cents, 60 cents, 80 cents, 84. So I had a choice. I didn't have to buy the Snickers bar. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So now let's go to number 2, which is avoidance, avoiding the conflict. Now, some of us don't like confrontation. We of course we hate it. When we come to a crossroads, we hate it. All right, but when we have to, when most of us go through the path of least resistance, right? So, but now we're all coming to a time where we cannot avoid it. It's coming to us now, no matter what. You can see by the change that's happened here in the last year and a half. So for all of us, admitting what kind of bind we're in. This is a bind. Some people are laid off today. A lot of people don't have a job, yet they're telling everyone to come back to work for $7.50 an hour, where they wouldn't be able to pay their bills anyway. Still. So then there's 2 people working in the household, and they're making minimum wage, that's $15 between them an hour, working 2 40-hour jobs. So yeah, I guess that is $15 an hour when both people are working at minimum wage. So I guess that's what it meant. That's what it is. So, but most of us have always wanted to be the ones to be responsible, pay your bills. And when, who wants that kind of conflict? But also people that want you to become something that you're not. You're being pushed in the room. As I said, opinionated bullies are all around. You have to recognize them. Number 3, ignoring the facts. One of the worst things we can do in finances is ignore the facts that they're present. Okay. Money is a risk. Money is a risk. You go and you look, you see this cryptocurrency that's going on now. It is a risk. That it's a risk. 1 minute it's 30,000, and next minute it goes down half, and so again, to me, it is similar to the stock market. And when you look deep, you have to, what it's about is when to get in and when to get out. And that's really what it's all about. Number 4, taking yourself off the fence. Another sign you may be experiencing cognitive dissonance is the rationalization chatter that you're having with yourself. Basically, it's the concept of convincing yourself that you made a good decision when you changed your mind about a belief that you had. So we found ourselves in the middle of this change when we didn't even want to change. Wait a second. I like the name Mother. I didn't know we got to call her a birthing person now. Boy, you know what? If you did that in stand-up, you get a standing ovation. That was so stupidly funny. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, that was a good. But that's what they want to teach in kids. Now, kids in school, they want to teach them that their mother is just a birthing station. What? Isn't one of the universal laws is honor thy mother? When did they'll be changing it. They'll want to change it to the birthing person. So this is where you have to go. Well, hey man, I'm not. There is tradition. Tradition. Now, there's some traditions that need to change. But again, I don't live in South Carolina. So they have their own stuff to deal with because they're the South, and every single state has it. Everything, single state. So it starts to me, first of all, with neighborhood, then community, then state, and then the rest of us, when we come together with the United States of America, not the divided states, because you could say that, right? Okay, you wish you could say that. We're actually the divided states of America. Ooh, yes, I think I got it. I was like wondering, wow, you know what? They're going to change it. At first it was like altered states of America. Right? But it's really the divided states of America. That's what they want to do. Yes. Fear of missing out on everything. Number 5. So, let's see here. Another common sign of cognitive dissonance is what I call deer eyes. Essentially, your eyes get big and wide. You get really supersized that you follow the herd. The herd. This was actually written in 2017. How quaint that it's going on right now. And I say I agree with you on this guy on everything. Wow. It's the herd. It's a good sports show too, by the way. It's a good sports show. I don't want to give Colin too much credit, but he's pretty good. Golly. Yes, it's a bit exaggerated and even a little bit silly. However, the struggle is real when it comes to the fear of missing out. Some of us see what someone else has and then we lust after it. Oh my gosh. We lust after the celebrities, the politicians, the news people, the athletes, the ones who make all the money, the billionaires. We want to be like them because they got private jets. Wow, the world has just changed. Number 6, shame. In our previous signs, they are related to what we may encounter as we are battling cognitive dissonance. I think the after effects are actually much more compounding and more felt. Just imagine when you did something that you said that you weren't going to do, the shame that you may feel after making a poor decision that went against a belief and you rationalized it. You may be struggling with the anguish of your decision. You may feel remorse or even shame. You may be thinking, this isn't me. You know, it's like, I know that all white people are not racist. Okay, it's just not true. Okay, it's not all white people are racist, but they're being cognitive and indifference on their dissonance on their. Oh, I am because I have white skin. You know, we'll get into that here too about the color, because look at me. Nobody knows what I am half the time, and I'm not even thinking about it. So now, the seventh and final one we have here is guilt. Okay, guilt. This, of course, leads up to that nagging feeling of guilt. This, I messed this up. I should have syndrome. I should have wrote that down. The I messed this up. I should have syndrome. That is really, really good. Guilt. Hey, you know, as Catholics, you were raised guilty. And all the rest of the religions too, by the way. So now here's a way to get these things resolved here. Number one, recognize it and understand the impact. This is again about your own personal self-honesty. You know, you use the signs of your senses and your emotions to really home on what it is you really believe. Now, we all can change for the better. And even some of us are total core. But at the end of the day, your core always is there. Because by the time you're 4 years old, you already have your personality and everything pretty much evolved. Look it up. Don't believe me. Do your research. Again, take the best, leave the rest. I'm here to bring you and bring it clear so you can get rid of your fear. Let's do it this year, and I'll still be here. Thank you so much. So recognize it and understand the impact. This is still similar to CPTSD. Okay, this is one of the things I really wanted to lock in and kind of put together, is all these different things that I kind of form into one. All right. I could talk about cognitive dissonance. It's almost as much as I could talk about CPTSD easily. They both go hand in hand. And I think I'll be kind of put them in together, because CPTSD means that we're complex. This is a complex. And the cognitive dissonance is the actual state of what we are in. Okay. So, you know, you can say PTSD is for the military. CPTSD is for everybody else, including the military. Okay. It's everybody. But in this course of events that we're in is causing that, the cognitive dissonance. Okay. So, where are we at? All right, number two, stay focused and committed to a course of action. For me, it's be yourself. Be yourself. Understand yourself. Know thyself. Write thyself down, if thou does not knowest what thou believest in within us. That was my closest Latin I could get. Number three, changing a conflicting belief. This is where a lot of us, and especially the baby boomers here, the things that are coming at us now at a later age, things that like the change culture, the woke culture. See, now it's like, well, everything you ever did in your life was racist. What? Every action, every reaction, okay? This is just a conflicting relief to understand that you're okay. We're okay. We're all working out, neighbor to neighbor, family to family. Okay. We can block out the crap to keep our values. So number 4, get informed and micro-test the quality of your decision making. Find someone you can trust. Listen, it's hard to find somebody to trust. Let's just be real about it, especially in these times. But if you are over communicative, which I am, I over communicate. Well, what do you rather me do? Under communicate? Yeah. You know that Michael, man, he really under communicates. No, Michael's over communicates so that you understand. You understand? I'd rather over communicate than over love. I'd rather over love than under love. I'd rather under hate than to hate more. Okay? And see, this is another thing. What this is causing, the possibility for some of us, is hate. And that's what we have to fight. Compassion and love is the beginning. Slow to anger. Educate. Create a dialogue. That's what the most important thing is. The accountability and mentoring. I like people who are older than me. Yes, there's a lot of people older than me. Yes, there is. All right. I have friends 10 years older, 20 years older, and 30 years older. I have people who I help that are 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years younger than me. I love talking and being around people. I love to help people. You need something? Let me know. Okay. So accountability and mentorship. Now, I know I'm running over my time here. I really am. I'm just, I'm not trying to ramble, but there's, here we are in this, how we deal with ridiculous things here. Now, I was working at Ford one night, and the guy came up to me. I don't want to say his name. Loved the guy. A perfect description of what you might say is a redneck. Okay, he kind of looked like Larry the Cable Guy, kind of. Just a great guy. And out of the blue, he says, Mikey, it's hard being a black man in a white man's world. And at first I'm like, was that racist? But the way he said it was very genuine. I mean, and I just said, you got that right, and it wasn't a put down or anything. Now, it might have been, but that's not how I interpreted it. Okay. But it might have been. And I actually did question it by, and he said, no, man, I'm just starting to understand. And that gave me goosebumps, man. I'm just not starting to understand how hard it is, and it was really good. When I heard it, it really didn't bug me at all. I thought he was sincere. People say you have that white skin privilege. Not me. When people say that to people, we have white skin privilege. My wife is white. She's a woman. Does she have privilege? Well, if she does, not. Sometimes my privilege is my charm. Okay. So if it's a privilege, I don't know, This has been said to me. You got light skin privilege. You got light skin privilege. I'm like, yeah, I got my asses handed to me by black people and white people and the Mexicans. So believe me, this light skin did not have no privilege. All right. It was because of who I was and my character and how I always tried to defend myself, but at the same time, not to offend people. I'm not trying to get people mad, but sometimes it happens. I know this can happen. Okay. Because I'm not here to tickle your fancy. I'm here to open your mind, Neo, and to get you to think better for yourself, because it's a coming. This is nothing changing. This is also, there's a hammer coming down. That was the picture on the outside for this. The hammer is coming. It's here. So for us, getting our thoughts in order, our heart in order, our gut in order, an order of how we deal with things. Because every day ain't an easy day. We make the best of that day by being the adult of our mind and not letting cognitive dissonance get the best of us. I wanted to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate this ability to share with you these things that I have been looking through all my life. When everybody was in the party room, I was in the spirit room studying, and that's where I'm at. Here I am. Boy, do I have some good things coming, you guys. I'm opening this up. So I'll be explaining this more to you later. Thank you again for being here tonight. And for me, when your mind is troubled, fill it with love, fill it with love, fill it with love. Yay, yay. See you tomorrow.